Hey everyone, ending credits here with some more Shulker farming content, if you can believe it. So I've got something very special lined up for you guys today. So why don't we roll the cinematic and I'll show you what I've got in store for you. That's right, I have two brand new Shulker farm designs to show off to you today. If you watch Hermitcraft, some of you may recognise this first design, and that's because it was built recently in Hermitcraft Season 10 by Vintage Beef, helped out by Zimvoid. Since then, I've been asked a lot by people about where they can find the design, and well, you're in the right place. The design is actually based on a prototype I made almost 2 years ago, which I was inspired to return to recently. It's not the fastest of farms, producing about 300 shells an hour, and it does require player FK, but what I like about it is that it's fairly forgiving, and also conceptually interesting. It seems like I'm not the only one, as the response from everyone interested in this farm has been really positive. At its core, this farm is a variation on the reactor concept. I won't explain what that is in this video, but if you want to know more, I'll leave a link to a video explaining everything down in the video description. So how does it work? Well, when a player AFKs in the middle, the shulkers in these corridors will see the player and aggro and start shooting. However, the blocks on either side constrain the bullet pathfinding, which causes the shulkers to get hit by their own bullets and causes them to duplicate. The large columns of blocks surrounding the chambers are arranged in a sugarcane pattern to give plenty of space for the shulkers to teleport to and maximises the chance of successful duplications. However, since the blocks also move up and down, all the new shulkers are forced to teleport back into one of the chambers, repeating the process. Eventually the older shulkers will start to die off from being hit too many times, and the drops will fall into the harbours to be collected. To start the farm, you just need to get a single shulker anywhere within the farm, and then you can simply flick the lever here to start the pistons, which will force the shulkers into the chamber. You can then go to the AFK chamber and AFK, and that's it. The farm should now be running. To exit the chamber safely, hop up onto the trapdoor to break line of sight to the shulkers, and wait for them to stop shooting. After a while, all the shulkers should have been forced into one of the chambers, and you can leave the farm safely. Coming on to this second design, this is basically an identical design, but using scaffolding to shuffle the shulkers around rather than redstone. I won't go into why the scaffolding makes this happen, as I've covered this plenty in my other videos, but this farm is even simpler than the piston design, with 0 moving parts, and is actually even more productive, producing about 450 shells an hour. The operation is identical to the piston design, but even simpler, as it has no on-off switch. You simply leave the farm out of the top when you're done. If you just want a super simple shulker farm, I recommend this design over the piston design, as it's easier to build and operate. However, everyone has their own way of playing, and there's plenty of reason to choose one design over another. So there you have it. 2 brand new shulker farm designs for you to go away and build and play with. Compared to conventional reactor designs, forcing shulkers into specific spots solves 2 of the biggest problems with reactors, which are drop collection and bullet pathfinding. Hence I refer to these as shuffling reactors, as they shuffle the shulkers around to force them into specific positions. However, this concept is not entirely new, and a variation of it even appeared on Etho's original reactor design, where he used water streams to try and force the shulkers back into the inside of the farm. I think there's a lot of scope here for coming up with even more designs, and hopefully I've explained the concept well enough that people can give it a go by themselves. If you have any questions, or want to show off any of your own designs, you can find me in the New Tech Discord, which I'll link in the description. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.